Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new story. The name of this story is What If Naruto Was Neglected and Was a Half Otsuki. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story. And before continuing, this shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to my boy Nightmare Gong Alex Exila 8660. Yeah, that's a longest name by the way. Anyways, it's his idea. I'm just going to add the neglected part into it. And yeah, he's going to be a combination of Kaguya clan, Uchiha clan, Hyuga clan, Uzumaki clan, and Senju clan. So yeah, you already know where this is going. And yeah, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And please do send in your ideas. I read them a lot and they give me inspiration to make a lot of my own fictions as well as your ideas as well. Anyways, enough said. Without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Story begins 7 years after the Kyuubi attack in Konoha-gakure no Sato. It is October 10th and night time, as the village was peaceful as we go towards the shinobi district in which the shinobi clans resided of the village. Amongst them was a house in which the current Kage resided alongside with his family, as a huge gathering was going on there. As inside that gathering we go towards our protagonist Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, who in the far left of the house was seated on his own, watching everyone with cold and calculating eyes, without any expression on his face, as his eyes were now boring holes into Menma and Mito, his older siblings, who were getting all the limelight and attention, because they happened to hold the yin and yang chakra of the Kyuubi, while he holded the soul. People were afraid of him because of his cold demeanor and just the aura around him, and because he was the sole Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. And that is why he was always left out. The kids rarely interacted with him, and those who did, they ran away instantly after knowing who he was. As now we see Naruto watching all of this going on, just with a sigh got up and left towards his room upstairs. After shutting the door, he slumped on his bed, eyes half opened as he looked out of his window onto the moonlight, as a voice inside of him spoke to him. "You know, kid, you can do better than them. They don't care about you. I mean, if they did, they would have tried to at least include you. I'm saying this again, it's futile to hold any hope. You saw that tonight, did you not?" "You're right. I did, Kurama. I did saw them. Seem like they have forgotten that they have another son, a child. Sometimes I don't understand why they would do this. They're scared, kid. You're different. Even I can tell. You have an aura around you that makes people, even the hardest of the shinobis, well, you know, wary of you. But I didn't ask to be like this, did I? No, you didn't. Of course you didn't. So, are we going along with the plan or not?" "Of course we are. Just let me get my things, and by the midnight, we'll be long gone." "Alright then, kid. But remember, by the midnight." Yeah, I know you, Fox." As Naruto was now in deep thought, as this all began a few years back when he was younger, as he began to notice sudden changes inside the household when his siblings and his parents began to, well, distance themselves from him. Unaware why they were doing this, he one day found out they were doing this because they were afraid of him, because of the aura that he held around him, and they might be thinking that Kyuubi might possibly try to take over him. And not only that, they might have to come to the last resort to end their own child to save many. Pathetic, didn't it? Naruto was crushed when he found out about this. As now we go to the future, where after a few months he met with Kurama and got to know him better. And the two came to an understanding. Both were hated because of who they were, and they didn't ask to be like this or treated like this. As now we come to the end of the flashback, as now we see it was the midnight, as everyone was celebrating downstairs. Naruto, already packed, was ready to leave. As now we go downstairs, as Naruto was ready on the upstairs, as Kushina noticed suddenly something. "Minato," she said, looking everywhere. "What is it, Kushina? Where is Naruto?" As Minato also then noticed that Naruto wasn't there. "Is he okay? I mean, it is his birthday today. Maybe we should try to at least, include him in this event." As Menma and Mito also noticed this as they asked. "Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should go and excuse ourselves for a bit." as they did excuse themselves and went upstairs only to find Naruto on the window as he looked back at them, as suddenly froze because of his expression. As he then asked, "Oh, so you noticed, huh? Well, too bad for you. I'm done with you all." "I'm done with you? This village?" "Wait, Naruto, what are you doing?" "Can't you tell? I'm leaving. You don't want me here, and I can get the picture already. I'm not that dumb or stupid. So, I'm doing you a favor and getting me out of your hair. You don't have to worry about me. And consider that our relation as a parent and child and as a sibling broken forever." And with these words, Naruto bolted towards the other side, as Minato and Kushina, forgetting everything, dashed after him, but somehow he was able to outmaneuver them and even disappear from their sight, as both of the parents were now panting heavily, searching for their child. What was supposed to be the happiest day, today for the older siblings, turned out to be the most sorest of the days, and also the tragic ones, because their youngest sibling turned out was feeling like an outcast, living amongst them, and they now finally realize. After the party was cancelled and the Anbus were sent out to search, we see that Kushina was crying in the living room. Alongside with them was Hiruzen, as well as Jiraiya, who was returned back alongside with Kakashi. "Everything is going to be fine, Kushina. We're trying our best. Anbus are searching. You too, Minato. Stay strong. We will find him." "I just don't understand. What makes him think that he was an outcast?" said Kakashi. "Why would Naruto do this? Cause distress to his own family?" As Menma then said, "With all due respect, Nissan, everyone, I think I know why. Whenever you trained with us, you laughed and chuckled. Naruto was not included. As far as I can remember, well, he wasn't included even in the most basics of part in our family gathering. And maybe that's why he felt like an outcast." "Minato, do you think that he heard us?" said Kushina, remembering suddenly something. "No, it can't be possible. I told you I heard some footsteps. I'm not sure that if I was hearing right or not, as you told me, but now I'm sure that he might have heard us. Otherwise, what would else have been the reason for him to just leave?" As Minato then finally slumped down, realizing his mistake. "What did he hear about?" said Hiruzen, now quite concerned because of the looks that both parents gave him. "He heard us saying that if the QB tries to take over because of the soul being inside Naruto, we might have to resort to killing him to save many." As even the older siblings were shocked. "How could you say that? After preaching to us that all that mattered is family and all that, and now you're saying that you had to kill him?" "We couldn't risk the safety of the village. Is the village that much important to you than your own child?" "What would have you done if we were in his shoes?" said Mito, with a sneer on her face. "So much for family. You are kin deserter, Kajan, for conspiring against our brother. No wonder he left," said Menma, the genius of them all, as with narrowed eyes he then grabbed Mito, who was holding back her tears and shaken visibly. "Let us go back to room, Mito. We don't want to be here any longer." "Wait, you don't understand. We don't understand? Seems like you were the ones who never understood anything about child. Then again, you were an orphan to begin with. How would you ever understood?" said Menma, with cold eyes and a cold voice, hurting Minato in the guts. It was like a punch there to him, as he slumped down without any words, back on the seat from which he has risen. As Hiruzen said, "Menma, I know you're mad, but that wasn't called for. Now please go to your room." "I will do so, Hiruzen-sama. I will." As Kakashi was just stunned. How did this even all come to this? He had to get Naruto back. This family was crumbling and he couldn't just watch it like that. Not after what his sensei did for him. As now we see, as this was going on in the Uzumaki Namikaze household, Naruto was already on his way to somewhere else, the Uzumashiogakure's ruins. As after that, the Anbus reached back to the Konoha as well after 1 month of continuous search. No traces of him were found. The family was already in rifts and shambles. The kids didn't want to talk to their parents and did not do anything. They even wanted to move out, but because of the law they couldn't. So they waited patiently until they were Genins and by legal age adult, and that is when they would move out. They were not going to spend a second day with them if they had a choice. As now we see, years begin to pass by, as both Menma and Mito were now a prodigy of their own and a strongest Genin in their class. As now we go to our Shinobi Academy, where we see Menma beating down Sasuke, who was now left in a pile of dust, as Menma stood there with cold eyes. Winner is Menma Uzumaki Namikaze. Congratulations, Menma. Here's your headband. Thank you, Sensei. As after that, Mito and Sakura fought. Sakura, obviously trying to get revenge for her Sasuke-kun, ended up with a broken arm. Thanks to Mito, because she tried to not only demean Menma, but also demean Naruto, her youngest sibling that has left the home. And that wound was still fresh because of what happened. Both of the siblings have vowed that they will bring back their brother. Not for their parents, to hell, not for this village as well, but for the family's sake. For their sake. Because siblings should stick to each other. That is what they believed in. As now we see, the team placement was about to be done. As after everyone was given their headband, the team placement was done as Kushina arrived to take Sasuke, Menma and Mito, as both of the older ones got up and left without telling her towards Hokage office. As Kushina sighed, looking down in sadness, knowing that she has completely ruined her chance to rekindle with her children, and there might not be a single way to do that now without Naruto being here. As she wished that her son is safe, or at least he would come back. As Menma and Mito went to Minato to tell him that they didn't want to be a part of this team, they would rather be put in reserves than to be with her. As Minato, realizing this, then placed them in a special team with Sai under none other than Anko Mitarashi and Jonin, who also wanted to be sensei, but nobody wanted to be in her team. So both of them went there with her willingly. As Kushina, now with only a one Genin, decided that she didn't want it to have Sasuke as well, so Kakashi took him, and Kushina was pulled off the rosters of the Jonin. As she stood there silently with a sad smile on her face, sometimes I think, why would we even talk about that? Naruto wasn't, as Kushina couldn't form any words as she broke down finally in tears, saying that she missed her children. I miss them, Minato. I just wish my family would come back to me. I know what we did was wrong, but I thought nobody was listening, and we were not gonna even do that, were we? You're right, Kushina. You're right. But first of all, if we want to even think about that, we have to find Naruto where he went. As suddenly, to ease up the tension, Jiraiya arrived there with a puff of smoke. Fear not, student. Your sensei has come back with the great news. What news, sensei? It's about your son Naruto. As both of their eyes widened. What? How is he? Where is he? Well, let me tell you one thing. Naruto is hard to track down, but he is still alive, and quite a well-renowned hunter known by the Hound. What? You mean to say that the S-rank hunter is the Hound is my youngest son? Yes. He has taken down many of the wanted criminals, and his latest kill was Gato from the Land of Waves, the tyrant who ruled with Iron Fist here. And the Hound has become their savior somewhat. And not only that, he has made allies with Iwa, Kumo, and even saved Kiri rebellion forces from an all-out war against the oppressors, and liberating them, becoming their ally and a mandatory part of their shinobis as well. He even made allies with the Suna's Jinchuriki, who is said to be a killing machine. As everyone was shocked, how did he do that alone in these years? Naruto is more than what you have saw. You saw him as a vessel for the Kyuubi's soul, who might try to take over your child, and you have to put an end to him, while he put an end to hatred itself. A lot of it, Minato. As Minato and Kushina, although proud, felt huge amount of guilt, and not only guilt but also sadness that they did not do anything for their son. Heck, if they did, that was to push him to this direction to become what he was now. But they were not proud of their methods of how they did this, at the cost and expense of their whole family. And they regretted even their actions, but no matter what they did, they knew deep down that they couldn't get it back. Without Naruto, they couldn't get their family back. Sensei, we have to get him back to the village. That is why I'm here, though. What do you mean? I have called him back, saying that Hokage has a job for him. But what do you mean? What job? I mean, I'm glad that you did. Relax, Minato. The job is simple. Once he comes here, he will reunite with Menma and Mito. And once he does, we'll trap him and, put him here. Sensei, that is the most dumbest idea ever. Hey, I'm all out of ideas. I did not think that far, okay? We have to come up with a plan, though. What do you say, Kushina? Of course. I mean, we can go to some mission or something like that. That's it. Mission. Sensei, in the Land of Fire capital, there has been a gang going around, right? Yeah, I have been searching into them, but that is a strong cartel, Minato. Then that's it. We can send Naruto there with our shinobis, and send his siblings and even Kushina there, and maybe they might be able to, rekindle, and that's way our family might come together. That's a genius idea, said Kushina. You're a genius, Minato. As Jiraiya also then said, well, that explains a lot, Gaki. You were the right choice for Hokage. As now all they had to do was wait. And back at home, we see that tonight, while they were happy, they didn't realize one thing. Both of the siblings have graduated and have become a part of a team. And as they returned home, they saw that both Menma and Mito, with packed bags, were about to leave and walk out. Where are you two going? We bought our apartment, and now we're gonna move in there. We're leaving the home, because we don't want to spend a second with you any longer. Wait, you have to hear this. We don't want to hear anything from both of you, said Mito. Please, you have to. It's about Naruto. Don't you dare say his name, said Menma, as his eyes flashed red with slits before returning back to normal. As Mito then said, for what it's worth, you don't have any right left to call him by that name. He's not even... Whatever. I'm done. Naruto is going to be coming back here. He's known as Hunter named Hound, since I found out about him, said Minato. And we're hoping that you might want to, get to know him, and you can go on a mission at Land of Fire to spend time with him. If you think that this is a way for you to get back into our life, then you're sadly mistaken. But for this information, I must say, thank you, Hokage-sama, said Menma begrudgingly before leaving. As Kushina, although sad, then said, we still have somewhat hope, Minato. Yes, this is only one shot we have, Kushina, to get Menma, Mito, and Naruto back. So we better make what it's worth. You're right. You should also prepare, Kushina. You should also. As now we see on the other side Naruto in his attire wearing a black Anbu style uniform as well as a mask, which was that of a hound painted to complete black, was looking at them at Konoha with his deep blue eyes. Back at home, huh? Back at home. You're right about that, kid. As Naruto was about to enter, his gaze fell upon someone. Interesting. Akatsuki. What are they doing here? As suddenly he activated his Byakugan, as veins popped up on his left eye, as Byakugan's single eye was activated, as he began to see at a closer range, as then he noticed something. They were eyeing his siblings. That is Menma and Mito, your Nesan and Nisan, and they are targeting them? As Naruto's eyes narrowed. Why? Why are they after my siblings? As now we see Naruto jump down and disappeared. As he arrived on the other side, behind the Akatsuki, it's not nice to spy on some kids. You wanna be written off as pedos or something? Both of the Otsuki members jumped up and turned around, and revealed themselves to be none other than Deidara and Sasori. Ah, Hound! To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit? Oh, and my offer is still the same, if you want to join. And my answer is the same. I don't associate with you a lot. And what are you doing eyeing on the Hokage's children? You know about them. I could ask you the same. Why were you spying on us and them? I just happened to be here because of an assignment. And I was about to enter the village when I noticed some of you crawling and getting out of mud like insects. So crawl back from where you came from. Otherwise I might have to put an end to you here, said Hound as he brought out two of his katanas from back, each held with each hand, as he got into a stance. As both Deidara and Sasori gulped, we have to retreat back. It is not the time now, Deidara. Damn it. I remind you this much, Hound. When the time comes, I'll destroy you with my art. And I'll cut your art and your ass with my swords. When that time comes. I'll cut you in tiny cubes that you won't be able to realize what is your hand or what is your... you know what. As both of them gulped, knowing fully well if it came from Hound, he was not saying as that a threat. He was saying that as a promise of fulfillment that he will fulfill. So they retreated back. As now Naruto sheathed his katanas, as his Byakugan eye faded, as he activated his Sharingan, as that morphed into a Mangekyo pattern, as he began to notice, and sending out his Limbo clones everywhere. The clones that did not exist in a physical plane but could harm and assault physically anyone, for security reasons, to check out any more unannounced visitors around. And suddenly one of his clones did found one, as he was kicked in the ass. Not lethally, as out came Jiraiya face first to the ground. You know, Jiraiya, you lack the skills of being an assassin, let alone being a Sanin. How in the hell did you become a spy master, as well as, you know, Sanin? Oi, Gaki, don't say stuff about your sensei like that. Jeez, sensei my ass, you never taught me anything, just handed me the scrolls to fend for myself. As now we see Naruto taking off his mask. As Naruto, with a single Sharingan in his eye, still closed his eyes before his eyes morphed back. You know, it's still impressive, never gets old. A Byakugan, a Sharingan. As Naruto literally then made a tree grew, as his branches came down and pulled Jiraiya upwards with a leg. Oi, put me down! It's not nice of you to use your powers to just boost your ego. Hey, I can because I do have them, right? Jeez. Kid that is a prodigy with many, you know, powers. You jealous, Jiraiya? Of course I am. Byakugan, Sharingan, Wood Release, Adamantium Chains, Fuinjutsu Mastery, Kenjutsu Mastery. What have you not learned? Luckily enough, I learned everything from Toads while you were busy peeping at women. And your main goal was that. Jeez, it's not that much of a bad goal. So, when is the next issue due? Ha ha, I see a man of culture here. As Naruto rubbed his chin. Well, I do kind of enjoy your literature, even if it is filled with quite edgy stuff. As Naruto had a tiny blush on his face as Jiraiya cackled like a maniac. Finally! After many years, I was able to do what I couldn't do with Minato, or the others. Wait, what? You wanted them to be like me? No, not like you. I mean, in a sense you are. I mean, like me. And you somewhat have become a man of culture like me, Naruto. Jeez, enough with your bullshit, old man. So, tell me, what is it about? As Jiraiya getting serious then said, I know this may sound rude, but your family, after you left, you already told me, get to the point, Jiraiya. I didn't come here for the family chatter. I came here to, well, do the job that you assigned me for. It's a simple job. Assassin group that has been going around in the land of fire. A gang. You need to wipe them out. Alright, on it then. No, you're not going alone. Konoha will be sending you with backup. Who? Said Naruto with narrowed eyes. some of the Anbus and Menman Mito? And? Come on, Jiraiya, spit it out. I know you're hiding something. Kushina. Should have known. A mission in which the family might bond together and they might have a chance of getting me back. Tell them this much, Jiraiya. I don't have much of feelings for them. But Menma and Mito, well, even if they didn't stood up for me, I can't seem to hate them because they were influenced by those around them, like the other kids. They also missed you and realized their mistake. They haven't talked to their parents, I have told you before. And they even tried to move out today. Oh, so it's that bad, huh? Well, you know what? Fine, I'll play along. I'll buy it, Jiraiya. I'll come with you. As now we see, Naruto wore his mask again as both Hound now and Jiraiya arrived at the Hokage office, where Menma and Mito were already there alongside with Team Ryu and Kakashi and Kushina. Greetings, Hokage-sama, everyone. Cut the crap, kid. They know who you are. As Naruto took off the mask and bonked Jiraiya on the head while jumping up. You damn idiot perverted old man. Why would you reveal my identity? I had to, kid. What the hell is wrong with you? Who bonks their sensei on the head? As Jiraiya then said, oops. You knew where he was, sensei? Well, he was at the Toads. Mount Miyaboku, training there for a few years until he became Hound. He had to train, I mean. But how did you even meet? He was going towards Uchiha, and as he was going there, I bumped into him. And after he told me everything, I knew I had to do something. Something that, well, helps out the kid. Because he was hell-bent on leaving. And seeing the potential, I did help him out, and he became who he is. A prominent hunter, known by Hound. Sensei, you could have at least told me. We could have... What? Try to get me back? Let's be honest here. I don't give a crap about you two. Like you didn't give anything about me. Heck, you even wanted to kill me. Because of the conversation I heard. If the QB takes over, we might have to kill him to save the village. That is why I hated you from that day onwards. But I heard about you two. You don't have any reason to hate them, though. Why? As both Mito and Menma were in complete shock of finding out about Hound's identity now. I mean, they knew that Naruto was going to come there, but not Hound. And Hound being Naruto, both of them went and hugged him as tears welled up in their eyes. We're sorry, Naruto. We're so sorry that you went through all that. Jeez, what's with this sloppy, eye-tearing show? Said Naruto, trying with sarcasm, but he too had tears in his eyes as he hugged them back. I missed you too, said Naruto, and we as well. As after that, they went on a mission, and they bonded together. But Kushina at least tried to, and so far nothing happened. It turns out the hidden mission within the mission have failed. The parents, they had no room within the atmosphere that Menma, Mito and Naruto had created. As now we see, Naruto, after doing the job, was about to leave, as he was standing on the outskirts of Konoha. You know, you can stay here with us, Naruto. We have an apartment, Mito and I. As much as I love to, I have a house of my own at Land of Waves, where my wife is kind of waiting for me. You're 13, Naruto, and an adult by, you know, shinobi standards. How the hell did you even get married? Well, she's at my age. I rescued her from Taki. She was also a Jinchuriki who was mistreated there, even by her own parents like me. So we kinda bonded. What's her name? As Naruto blushed. Fu. And if I don't get back, she might get worried, and suddenly a bolt appeared from the sky, and literally like a bullet, and a bullet train tackled Naruto to the ground, as Naruto only could say oof, as he then said, "Jeez, I was gonna come back home, Fu." Like what? When? It has been a month since you left. You promised you'd come back within 25 days. So I knew you were going to Konoha, so I arrived here to check. Oh, sorry. Didn't know people were here, said Fu as she looked at everyone else, her wings flopping back, turning herself back to normal. As Naruto getting up dusted his clothes. Everyone, meet Fu. Fu, meet my siblings. Oh, hiya, nice to meet you. I'm Naruto's wife. And your sister-in-law. As both of them were shocked, but at the same time happy that, well, Naruto had someone and he was not alone. As Mito squealed in delight as she began to ask all the things about Naruto and how they met. As although it was kind of a bittersweet story, but in the end, Naruto, being the knight in the shining armor, saved her, and both of them fell in love and ended up marrying, because it was Fu who was an impulse and didn't want it to, get anyone else bagging Naruto, so she called the dibs and did what she had to do to mark her territory. And Mito, to be honest, was happy, and at the same time, Menma, he was happy as well. The parents, although happy yet shocked, couldn't do anything, just watch them from afar. And after that, Naruto bidding farewell, he looked at them and only gave them a curt nod before leaving, as both of their eyes widened, knowing that Naruto has just given them a sign that maybe, just maybe, there might be a tiniest bit of hope that they might, still be a family, even if after what they have done, and he was better than them. As now we see, time began to pass by as 3 years went by. Menma and Mito, still after becoming a Jonin, visited outside of the village to meet Naruto. And Naruto sometimes visited them as well. And turns out Naruto even had a son named Boruto with green hair this time, and his hair as well. As Naruto also revealed to them that he had some abilities that he has found out later on and he had before. And those were one eye of Byakugan, one Sharingan, and he could use Susanoo as well, and Juken style, alongside with Uzumaki seals and Senju's food release and 100 healing marks. Everyone and both of them were impressed because of Naruto's teachings, and Naruto has started some of a minor movement within the village of Land of Waves, making the newer generation into that of shinobis that were capable enough to defend their homeland. And some people wanted him to name even a leader, but Naruto, being Naruto, didn't want it to be, because he knew that he was not a leader material-ish. And he did not want it to be a hero, because hero had to make sacrifices to save many. And he could not sacrifice what he had. His family was the most precious thing to him, alongside his siblings. He would destroy the world to protect them if it push comes to shove. And not like that was gonna happen, but that was his mentality, because he already made allies with most of the major villages who considered him an ally and friend. Akatsuki was downright terrified to even mess with him, but they had to get Jinchurikis. So when they tried to make a move, a distress call from Gaara, Naruto was alerted, and Deidara and Sasori were literally cut down in cube-sized pieces, as Naruto promised, in Hound form. And then Hound went on a hunt across the elemental nations, hunting them down, the Akatsuki members, one by one, ending them brutally. As the elemental nations finding out about this asked why, and when the answer was given, they knew that what Hound did was a great service yet again. While Konoha only suffered after Naruto left because of their ignorance, the others flourished because they were allied to Hound, the strongest shinobi that was walking on the planet right now. And something interesting happened. A few years more went by, as everything was going great. The peace was preserved, and only Konoha had somewhat of a bad habit of starting a ruckus here and there, but that too was ended in their defeat by themselves, as Otsuki defended from the sky. And they were none other than Ishiki, Momoshiki, and Kishiki Otsuzukis. As Naruto, being Naruto, they arrived towards him because they felt a connection. Finding out that Naruto possessed the spirit of half Otsutsuki, they engaged in a battle to consume it. But in the end, it was Naruto who activated his own karma, consuming them and gaining even their own powers, becoming a full-blown Otsutsuki, nearing the Otsutsuki god level. And that is when it was signified that the planet was under his protection. And those Otsutsukis that still roamed around, even that of Kaguya, now did not wish to mess with that being that was able to take down 3 Otsutsukis and consuming them, being a half Otsutsuki himself. As Naruto's karma was red markings on both of his arms and eyes, and that was the most dangerous of the dangerous karma seals, if ever given to anyone. But Naruto, he was a kind soul, who now had what he wanted and wished: a happy family with a daughter and son, as well as his siblings and his family and friends who respected him and he respected them. The world was finally at peace with the help of Naruto, and the Otsuzukis, they were terrified of him as well. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.